What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing a look and run of my E-Maxx waterproof. This is the second version of the Traxxas E-Maxx. The first waterproof version of the E-Maxx that they came out with. And this was a big deal, 15, 20 years ago when I got it, because it wasn't mainstream and routine to waterproof electronics, so it really limited your ability to bash with these vehicles that were designed to be bashers. So this really allowed you to kind of think outside of the box and kind of reinvent the way that you bashed. And this was the second vehicle that I've ever gotten. I replaced the T-Maxx. The T-Maxx I had for a little bit, and at the time I was just too inexperienced to keep it running well. It was just kind of above my head at the time, and when this came out, I decided to trade that in or sell it, and then I ended up buying this. And like I said, that was 15, 20 years ago now, and I still have it. I still love it. Still works great. It's gone through a little bit of changes over the years. First and foremost, you can see recently I picked up a replacement body. I'd had my stock factory body for all that time until a few months ago, and I finally tossed that one and replaced it with a relatively cheap Amazon E-Maxx body. Other than that, recently I also changed out the shock springs. I believe these are higher compression than the factory ones. The main change that we have here is the Kershaw Designs Revolver 700 high output motors. These replaced the dual factory, I believe they're 550 Titans. And at the time, it really, with LiPo batteries, it really reshaped how this thing ran. It added a lot of power. Other than that, I believe I have over the years maybe replaced a servo or two that went bad, and then just various wear and tear, replacing A-arms here or there. Factory rubber, they're getting kind of worn down, but still the factory tires, the factory rubber. I do have some aluminum skid plates and bumpers that you can tell have taken some wear over the years. Some of the covering on the ball joints and whatnot is kind of rotten, needs to be replaced. But it still goes hard, still running strong. So I figure while it does, you just got to enjoy it. So with that, let's go and have a run. So I came out here to shoot this video, and it's been a few weeks since I've driven this car. And in between then and now, we have had sort of a re-leveling of our driveway here with a fresh load of dirt and stone. It has created right now what I would say is a fairly loose surface with quite a few surface stones of different sizes. I had absolutely no problem running this car a few weeks ago on the hard packed dirt with a lot less stone. This thing, I can't even keep it straight. It is absurd. I think these tires, although they kind of look like they have an okay amount of tread left to them, I think they're just so shot that they can't handle this loose stuff. And as you can see, I'm struggling to keep this thing straight. Now I'm stuck. There you go. And I even threw a gyro receiver in here. It doesn't matter. This thing is drunk. It's almost like the rear tires there are no tires. Like it's riding on rims on the back. It is wild. It's skating on ice. So I think I'm now obviously in a spot where I need to get new tires for this. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go get some new tires and then come back and see how it compares to now, which I really hope it can only get better. So we'll come back and check how this thing runs with some new tires. Okay, so we're back out here with the E-Maxx, and guys, I made a pretty silly mistake with these new tires that I got. As you can see, I do have new tires, but they're way too small. I got 2.8-inch tires, some cheapos from Amazon, and kind of stupid mistake. But the tires were pretty shot, so I figured I'd rather run these tires that are semi-good versus the mostly bald factory stock tires that I was running. I also discovered, again, another stupid mistake, but I realized that as I crash into my ramp, I had a setting with the gyro wrong, and that was causing the complete uncontrollability of this car. Again, as I keep crashing. Okay, so I'm gonna blame the poor driving, at least in part, on all the bugs that keep bothering me. But yeah, once I flip that setting in the gyro settings for this receiver, it started running a lot better. Still feels a little loose, but I think that's honestly a result of these new tires that have a smaller contact patch that I'm used to. But it's at least runnable. Pretty fun because it's skating around quite a bit. Yes, I know I keep missing the jump. I'm not trying to hit the jump. Right now I want to kind of get used to the feeling. I've only put a couple minutes on this since I put the tires on. I think I gotta adjust the trim a little bit. It's another thing I can't figure out with this transmitter. If there's any quick control for trim, there's a sub trim menu that you have to dig through the menu to get to, where you can adjust the trim for any of the various channels. But that's not convenient because you have to actually try to get into the menu and adjust it versus having it on one of these knobs. I'm sure it's possible. I just haven't put enough time into figuring it out. And these products being not that well thought out as far as documentation and instruction manuals and stuff go, make it quite difficult trying to learn how to use them. There's not many videos out there that I found that show people going through the menus. Well, we hit the jump. And you know, I love this car. This car is special to me. I've had it for 20 years. And if I'm being completely honest with you, and I'm kind of ashamed to tell it to you right now, but today is the first day in its entire life that it has hit a ramp. Never before has it hit a jump off of a ramp, or really off of anything. To be honest with you, I've never really bashed this thing too hard, which I'm sure is part of the reason why I still have it. Right into the ditch. And you know what? It jumps nice. It really does. I'm quite impressed with it. Okay, gotta dig this thing out of the jungle. I hear frogs in there. And I also am setting myself up for failure a little bit, putting this jump off to the right. But I wanted to give myself more room to run. I gotta figure out what's going on with my steering servo. I mean, there's dual servos, but my range of motion is terrible, and the power that I'm getting out of these servos is pathetic. So I don't know if they're both just dying or what's the problem, but depending on what this car's future looks like, that might be something that I gotta look into doing. Upgrading those servos. Back in the ditch. We get out? Yep, we're out. And it flies pretty nice too. And it slaps. Especially with the metal, the aluminum chassis, not chassis, but skid plates I got on this thing. And you know what really impresses me with this car is that it's running two brushed motors, and you know, running lipos, you'd never really know that this wasn't a brushless system, like a decent single motor brushless system. It's just got so much torque. I love it. If it had a little bit more traction, it'd wheelie. It wheelies up on the pavement. We'll do that a little bit later. Rough. She's all good. All right, let's get it up here on the road and see what she's got. Not much, but can't expect it to have a lot of high end, especially with these small wheels. It is a brush system. It's running 4S. It's probably, I don't know, 25, 30 miles an hour. Certainly more than enough speed, especially for bashing. This thing jumps pretty nicely. Stays nice and level. That need to figure out what's wrong with my steering. That steering radius is all screwed up. Something doesn't sound right. Okay guys, I just took a look at it. We've got a couple of issues that are going to put us out of commission for a little bit until I can get them replaced. First and most obvious is that our front left shock here, the lower body of it kind of snapped. And I think that's probably the source of some of my steering issues of recent. Also, on the right front control arm here, this is snapped. I think that's it. I think that's all that's wrong with it. Again, I haven't bashed this over its life, and a lot of this stuff has never been done. So a couple of these really hard hits onto this driveway have just proven to be too tough for a couple of the cheaper pieces. And quite frankly, I can't even tell you if that's not the original piece. So those pieces could be 20 years old, which also explains why they might be a little bit weak. But we'll get those fixed and we'll get back out here. Okay, we're back out here after giving some attention to the E-Maxx and putting her back together. She is in a much better condition. You guys might have missed it, but the last clip that I did up here, it ended with me smashing into the garbage can, and that popped the ball joint out. So we had to put that back in, replaced front right upper control arm. What else? Replaced the bottom mount, shock mount. And these are some fresh packs in here too. I think it runs a little bit quicker than it did the last time I was up here. I think my batteries were getting kind of dead. See how bad the turning radius is? That's full turn. Gotta fix that. Nice and slippery up here with the water. The E-Maxx handles this side really nice. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of starting to like running these tires. I think it might just be like a placebo effect. You know, they're new and they look cool, and the other ones were old and worn. But I kind of like how this thing acts on them. It's got a real loose, I mean, granted it's wet out right now, but They're real loose. Like they've got bite. Like you can see when I oversteer. Whoa. When I oversteer, it after it slides a little bit, it catches itself every time, and then straightens back out. But it gives you that initial kind of looseness. That bump doesn't seem so big when I hit it with the X-Maxx. Wow, this thing feels so nice. That's what's great about those Kershaw design motors. They just got so much torque, so much low-end bite. It just goes. And also speed-wise, I mean, this thing has the factory gearing in it. I never put in any optional high-speed gear or bought any optional gear for this. So whatever it came with factory, which I guarantee you is not for speed runs, is what's in here. All right, guys, well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for watching. It's been fun getting this E-Maxx out. Been running the other new cars quite a bit, and you know, I just have to get this thing back out for nostalgic reasons and have fun with it, and that's what we did. Thank you for taking a look, and catch us next time. We'll be back with something else. Thanks for watching.